Heyo everybody, Haku here with chapters 1 through 3 of the new Tower of God Urek Mazino spinoff. And honestly, not until sitting down to record, setting everything up, have I been this excited to read it. It's finally now hitting me. Excited to read it, but also kind of a little bit tired, to be honest. It's like 10:30 for me by the time I'm sitting down to record. To be fair though, this came out a little bit before 9. Not exactly sure when before 9, but I checked a little bit before 9 and the three of them were up. So plans moving forward, I'm going to keep this really short because for any of you who are watching this months later, just marathoning through, schedule stuff is not going to be important. But I think I'm still going to keep doing Kubera on Mondays. Now I was running behind this week, so I'm probably just going to do Kubera tomorrow. I'm going to still try to do that on Mondays, still try to do ORV on Tuesdays, so that shouldn't be changing. Tower of God itself is the only thing that I'm a little bit unsure about. I am planning to do these, like I said, I'm recording this the night it comes out, and I'm planning to edit, render, upload it directly after I record it. And I'm planning to keep doing that in the future, so we'll see how that goes. If at any point it's like, okay, it's not worth staying up late on Mondays for, then maybe I'll just push it back to Tuesdays and I'll do both it and ORV on Tuesdays. But at least for right now, I'm planning to just do it Monday nights. So with that aside, we are a bit behind. I'm just going to mention it this once. I don't plan on talking a lot about how the official translation is behind. I probably wasn't going to bring it up much at all, but the fact that we're getting 3 chapters makes me think, okay, how often are we going to get that? Is that just going to be for this week, for the premiere, or are we going to have that happen for a few weeks until we're not as far behind? I'm really not 100% sure what the deal's going to be exactly, so that might have an effect on things. But for me, I'm just like, okay, it's going to be really far behind the Korean release, but I'm just going to chill, enjoy what we get, have some fun with it, not be too serious about, oh my gosh, it's so far behind, because what can you do? We're just going to be really far behind. But for as far behind as we are, I have not been spoiled whatsoever. I know exactly nothing that's going to happen. I've seen no panels, I've seen no characters, no nothing. I am going in completely spoiled, so please keep it that way. The only thing I will say that I know is a little bit of the fan perception, what people think of it. But I know people will watch my videos who don't even know that much, who don't know anything ahead at all, so I'm not going to say anything about that here. If anything, I'll say it at the end of the video, after we're through reading, after we're through discussing the 3 of these, then I might say what I know and what I think about what people have said they think about it. If anything, it makes me more excited, so don't worry, it's not impacting my own excitement. So I will talk about that at the end of the video, maybe. And yeah, the only other thing, I haven't been spoiled whatsoever, but for some reason I was going into this with the assumption that we are just going to see the full Urek story, like we're going to see him like actually climb. Don't know why I thought that instead of just a random side story with him. Maybe because I've done update videos before, maybe it was in the when they gave the basic premise of what the story was. Maybe it was in that, maybe that's why I'm thinking this. So I'm excited for that. At first, when you first hear it's a Urek spinoff, maybe it's about him climbing or whatever, I was like, Urek and his story is so important to Tower of God that it would have been cool to see that in the actual series itself. But then after sitting with it for just a few seconds, I'm like, no, I actually prefer doing it like this, because this hasn't been short, because it's like 20 chapters and counting right now. To me, I'm like, okay, this actually works. Because if this were in the main series, it would maybe be a couple chapters and a flashback here or there, which would have been cool, but getting to like flesh it out and really spend some time on it, I think is even better. So you know what? I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it. I'm cool just hanging out with this for as long as possible. Take whatever time they need before getting back to the main story. I do not mind, personally. So yeah. I think that's about it. I'm planning on him to climb. Honestly, what I would really, really love in Tower of God is kind of what Dr. Bonehead is doing with Towers and Gods. Just a group climbing the tower, having their story, having their adventure. You know what Tower of God started out as, kind of, in Season 1 and Season 2. And of course, there are things other than just climbing, just taking tests. There's always been that. But it does feel like in Season 3, we kind of lost track of the premise and setting of the series itself. But I don't think we're getting that here either. I'm not expecting that here either, because Urek climbed so quickly that I don't think we're going to have side characters and stuff, but I don't think we're going to have too many teammates or anything. He is really just going to solo his way up for the most part, I feel like. But I could be pleasantly surprised. I could be pleasantly incorrect. I don't think there's anything more to say, though. This intro ended up being even longer than I expected it to be. But either way, let's read as usual. I have a filter over it, but, you'll still be able to see here. And I might change the filter in the future to, be a more Urek Mazino specific one, if that is, if there's a good thing to do. But either way, this is what it is for now. Let's just read. Let's talk about this while we're reading, talk about it after we're done reading, and then after all that, I guess I'll mention what it was that I know about the general perception of the spinoff, and then that'll be it. So either way, we start with, in the beginning, there was only darkness, silent and absolute. In the void, order reigned. Until a light shone through the dark, blinding and dazzling. Along with it came change and chaos. The light blazed a path through the void, creating time, movement, and life. Okay, weird intro. These beings born of light grew ever stronger, and 6 of them, who were the brightest of them all, named themselves the Shining Ones, and stepped up to become the leaders of all life. So, is this something for the universe of Tower of God as a whole, or is this specifically something that has to do with Mazino's world, and the world that Mazino comes from into the tower? The Shining Ones brought much chaos to the world with their quarrels, until the darkness couldn't bear their insolence any longer. Thus the darkness created the Guardian of Order, one whose mission was to punish the creatures of light. He came to be called Phantominium. Okay, so it's not even Urek, it's Phantominium backstory. This is where Phantominium comes from. And I wonder then if Urek is one of the Shining Ones? That's what I was thinking. He was going to be one of those. Okay, so Phantominium's literally a Guardian of Order. And I actually really like this shot. It looks like a creature, almost like a whale moving up, but then when you take a different look at it, it looks like a face facing forward with the glowing red eye and the hair flowing behind his back. But even then, there are tendrils coming out the front, or maybe even hairs that just look like that because of the way they're laying. Very cool. As the strongest of them all, he hunted down the Shining Ones and brought them to their knees one by one. The Shining Ones, defeated and broken, were sealed away, trapped in beautiful jewels. Okay, weird, unexpected Phantominium story. Once Phantominium vanquished every single one of the Shining Ones, the darkness ordered him to return with the jewels. However, he refused, already entranced by the dazzling light of the jewels. He embedded the jewels in his own body, and named himself the King of the Jewels. With his jewels, Phantominium established his dominance over all living creatures in the world. Him and his followers were feared by all, and came to be called the ones who swallowed the light. And we have crying. I've searched for you long and far, our new Shining One. We have Baby Urek. I actually love Baby Urek's design. He just has his arms crossed as he's crying. You are the only one who stands a chance against the Shining Ones who fall into the King of Jewels, and Phantominium himself, all of our hope. lies in you, Urek Mazino. And we have the being... Ah, I've been blessed with sacred water. Here you go, for your face. As I was saying, this child will illuminate the world forevermore. Somewhere in the tower. But we see, he grew from a baby to being however old he is now, so what? How does Urek's aging work? Like, has he been around just, like, for freaking ever? Somewhere in the tower. We have a light. I've got to admit, I have no idea where I am. Okay, so this must be him entering. Looks like I'm lost, huh? And again, I wonder if there is just one world out there outside of the tower, because this is like the most we've seen of outside of the tower. Or if there are different worlds outside of it, and this is just specifically Urek and Phantominium's world. Damn it. Dang it, is there even a way out of this place? And where the hell is Phantominium? And then, sorry, Phantaminum. I still keep calling him Phantominium. I am doing the aluminium thing. I'm just so used to it being Phantominium in like way super old translations, but it is Phantaminum. It should be that. I'm Britishing his name up. Come on, I need something to work with. And Head-On appears. Huh? Congratulations. You have opened the door and earned the right to climb the inner tower as a regular. And it really makes me curious. Because again, I've been reading Tower of God since 2011, back since season 1. I wonder, I think this a lot with a lot of authors of long-running stories and stuff, how much of the idea for Urek and Phantominium's backstory did CU have in mind from the beginning, and also how much did it change or did it develop? Like, for him to have introduced Phantominium and Urek as characters, he obviously had some sort of backstory that he was eventually going to get into, but it just makes me wonder, was it really close to what we're seeing now, or over the course of writing Tower of God for nearly 15 years, I think, did he have moments, like maybe 6 years ago, he was like, no, this would be a better idea for them. It really makes me curious. Also, a random caked up Head-On panel. Congratulations, you have opened the door and earned the right to climb the inner tower as a regular. What awaits you within is a chance to seize everything you've ever desired. How does that sound? What's the deal with this giant rabbit? This man must not enter the tower. I rescind my invitation. I cannot allow you to meddle in the tower's affairs. Interesting, because this has... So this is more into whatever Head-On's values or intentions are. At least tell me how to get out of here, then. I do not have an answer for you. You will simply have to discover it yourself. Hold on. You said I can get everything I want in that inner tower, right? Does that include Phantaminum? One thing... I think the only thing that I'm not liking as much so far, that I think we could get into in the future, and I hope we do, is a big thing with Urek, and like when he first met Bomb and everything, was talking about, the outside world is great because of this and that, and people in the tower are trapped here, and they don't know what they're missing with freedom and everything. It would have been nice to build up Urek experiencing that freedom outside of the tower, and then being trapped in the tower, and it's like, okay, crap, I'm trapped now, and show a bit of, like, whoever it was that raised him, whatever his culture was, show a bit of his life outside of the tower to show us what it is that Urek's missing by being trapped here and what he needs to get out to do. Because by tying it so deeply into Phantaminum and being like, okay, well, all Urek has to do, all he's destined to do, he's born to just chase after Phantaminum, is somewhat kind of disappointing because it felt like chasing after Phantaminum, we knew that was something that Urek wanted to do, but his big goal, his big sort of thing that kept him going, or thing that he valued, was the freedom outside of the constraints of the tower. And we're kind of saying, yeah, freedom, whatever, he's chasing Phantaminum, which is just a bit more basic. You said I can get everything I want in that inner tower, right? Does that include Phantaminum? I do not know that name, but I will not dash your hopes. Okay, so if Head-On doesn't even know that name, then that means that either this is pre-Phantaminum coming in and going through Zahard's palace, or Phantaminum came in, went through Zahard's palace, but they didn't have a name to put to that being yet until Urek came in. But I will not dash your hopes, for it's true that everything awaits at the top of the tower. Alright then, I'm going in. Pardon? You said you don't know a way out of here, and I know for a fact that Phantaminum came this way. So I have to go in there, obviously. And then, I suppose I cannot turn away the one who opened the door himself. After all, the tower never rejects anyone who wishes to climb it. Welcome to the tower. Okay, Urek Mazino. And now we have a title splash for Tower of God Urek Mazino. Episode 1, The Floor of Tests. Okay, so we get to see, it still kind of looked like that even back then. On your feet, regulars. Sleepy time is over. I am so excited to get to see, like, potential new, never-before-seen side characters for this. Again, even though I'm expecting them to maybe not stick around for that long, because I think that Urek's going to fly up the tower really quickly, and he's going to have, he's going to mostly do it alone because he's so powerful. It's sort of like a, Izuku versus All Might situation, where Izuku had to grow into his power, but All Might could use it straight away. Bomb has had to grow into his power, but from what we understand, Urek was just really strong right from the start. So I don't know how much growing he has to do. I'm assuming he's still going to be growing, obviously, but I feel like he's just going to kind of bust through things really quickly. But I am excited to see side characters, even though I don't expect a lot out of them. Sleepy time is over. This is the floor of tests. Where you're sitting is the lowest part of the inner tower, where the test of hell is administered. And again, I don't think we know quite yet how long ago this was, but we know that it wasn't that crazy long ago. There's still like, you know, the great families have already done their climb. A lot of the characters we know that are like thousands of years old are still going to be here. So we might see younger versions of a lot of characters. Salt? I smell something salty. There are exactly 400 regulars here. Your job is to kill and be killed until there are only 200 left. Then the test will conclude. Okay. I'm having to hold it back. I'm having to hold back saying something. And those still standing will move on to the next test. What I was going to say is, so you want us to wait 20 weeks for a translation and there's still typos. You know, just bring it up. Just being honest here. But it is interesting that they're using the same test. Those still standing will move on to the next test. So I wonder if at this point in time, Evankel was already in charge of this area? I mean, hell, we could even say that Evankel and the teachers that we saw from when Bomb was at the second floor are still the people in charge here. Oh, just so you know, you'll all be disqualified. But this also means if it goes the same way, that he's going to have to find a couple of teammates here. If half of you aren't dead within the next hour, no hiding, no slacking off. Just go and kill. We see a guy with a needle, a birdman. Guy with the needle is attacked by the birdman. I don't want to die, and I think that might just be a mask. that he's wearing. Out of my way. Okay, we're going to see how strong... So, because Shinsu is like a tower thing, it makes me wonder, how is he going to adjust to fighting in the way that you have to fight within the tower? Out of my way. What the... And, you know, random whatever is tearing at this guy's sleeve seems to stab through this guy. He's taken out. Birdman down. The pose is great. Are you alright? Okay. Lopobia Evelyn, immediately a 10 family member, and immediately not, Urek. I thought it was going to be Urek. Lopobia Evelyn, thank you so much. And this is different. Do we know any Lopobias that look like her? Her eyes kind of have the Anak and Traumaray thing going on a little bit. I thought she had blue eyes at first. And I was going to bring up how it's interesting. I mean, I guess her hair is somewhat green-ish. But usually, most of the Lopobias that we've seen fall into two categories. There's the green hair and dark eyebrows ones that look sort of like Traumaray himself. And there's the blonde hair and usually, I think, blue eyes. Some might have green eyes, now I'm thinking back. But the blonde ones. And then the outliers from that are like, well, I mean, there's a couple outliers that are just weird looking, like White Garment Widow, but I was thinking more along the lines of the blue-haired ones like Perditi, Elbaba, and then Elaine being Elbaba's daughter. No need to thank me. But why did you save me? Okay, and she threw a weapon. We're supposed to be fighting to the death. That's the only way to qualify. You know what I thought when I heard those instructions? I can't let the strongest regulars on this field move on to the next test, when I don't even know what I'll have to face in the future. Okay, I love that when we saw this test, back in the original, we had different characters with different plans. Like with Kuhn's plan, I thought we were going to maybe have a callback, and her plan was going to be the same as Kuhn's, where Kuhn is like, you know, if half are going to be killed, I'll make the other half my allies. But I like that it's different, and we're seeing different plans within this same scenario, where she's like, if half are going to die, I hope the stronger half die. Just, you know, just in case the next one is going to be a tougher competition. Personally, I'd like to compete against the weakest 199, not the other way around. The weapon is cool, I like it. This is the perfect opportunity to hunt down the stronger ones, don't you think? Does that mean you only let me live because I look weak? Exactly. Do you happen to be powerful? No, not at all. You know, crazy work wearing a target on your t-shirt like that. Not at all. I'm the weakest person I know. That's good. Let's go, Mr. Weak Guy. Coming. And now we have Red Guy 6 Eyes, not to be confused with Red Guy 5 Eyes from the main Traumaray flashback in the main series. We have Red Guy 6 Eyes and also 3 noses. You know, I miss this. I like seeing these designs that are like out there and not humanish, because when you go back in like early season 1 especially, but also season 2 Tower of God, there are a lot more designs, especially with the background characters and everything, that are just kind of weird, kind of different. Not everybody just looks like a basic human, where we still get some cool different designs like Zamzam in season 3, but a lot of the season 3 designs are just people. They're just human looking. Whoa, look at him. He must be really strong, taking on all those people at the same time. Perfect. And then gets assassinated. Stabbed in the shoulder. I really like her already. He's down. We keep moving. Right. Perfect. I'll just stay with her. So I wonder if we're spending so much time with these two because they're going to end up being Urek's teammates. Hide now. Huh? And we see somebody standing on a rock. How'd she get all the way up there? Is she really that strong? Strong enough to make you hide? Of course. That's... Oh, and we have a Zahard symbol. One of Zahard's princesses. So we're going to have Urek meeting a Zahard's princess right away. And this one doesn't look familiar to anyone we already know. Unless I'm forgetting something and I'm going to look really stupid that I don't recognize her. But purple eyes and like pinkish blonde hair doesn't ring too much of a bell to me. What? Seriously? I've never seen one before. Just my luck, having a monster like that in my first testing group. You know, she's just as beautiful as the rumors say. I'm just trying to, like, take a look at the hairpin, see if it reminds me of any of the, gosh, what is it? Any of the family symbols we've seen. But it's not, like, exact to any of them. Ow, and he gets... His eyes poked to the point they're bleeding. What did I do? I just found your comment irritating. That's all. There's no denying she's stronger than me, but when it comes to looks, that's a different story. You're pretty too, of course. Just as pretty as her. And then we have a blush. No need for that. I wasn't fishing for compliments. And now we see a weapon. It shouldn't be a 13-month, because a knock was kind of a special circumstance. Same with bomb. Usually you're only like a ranker, high ranker when you get one. Get down. And again, it's thrown. Okay, I was not thinking it was a throwing weapon. Did not look like a normal spear. And it's bouncing all over the place, just taking people down. People screaming. Did she really just kill all those people? Are we going to have some sad backstory where this kid gets killed, Urek takes his hat, and that's why Urek always has the backwards hat? He beats the balding allegations, he's doing it for his dead friend? With a single strike. 252. See how many people died just now? You still think she's beautiful? I mean, she's still really pretty. That's such a funny line. But after that, I don't think I'll ever be able to look her in the eye. For a totally different reason. What did I do now? He blocks this time. Nothing. I'm just thinking there's a reason why men die earlier than women. Maybe not being able to see will help you with your survival. I'd like to keep my eyes. Thank you very much. Alright. Now we have more going on. She notices something. Is that man asleep? And Urek's just pulling the Lorraine strat. There's already a group closing in. Already forming an alliance, I see. Looks like he won't live for much longer. And again, I wonder how he's going to fight here in the beginning. How long, like, does he just brute strength his way until he learns Shinsu? Or does Shinsu control come supernaturally to him? Like, I wonder if it's going to be something he has to struggle with or not. Seriously? I guess it's true that the tower is filled with all sorts of weirdos. Still, falling asleep during all this chaos. Unbelievable. Hey, get up. And he kicks him. Said get the hell up. Okay. He has the Guns N' Roses t-shirt on? Is this guy from outside the tower? We have another irregular? 5 more minutes. I thought he was just going to kill him in his sleep. If he still plans to kill him, he's an idiot. He deserves what's coming. But he might be a good guy trying to recruit him and all, since he already has people with him, and he's not just sneak attacking him in his sleep. What did he just say to me? Whatever. You're dead. And they're going to attack in his sleep now? You should have done that before. making any noise. Get him. And again, it would be nice, this is something that we can still cut back to, if we see how he learns to fight and stuff outside of the tower. And they both get kicked in the jaw and sent flying. Looks like I was right. Lands. Didn't I say 5 more minutes? Yes, sir. Take as much time as you want. You already ruined my nap by waking me up. Yeah, he's chasing him. Really? You passed out? Well, maybe that means I can sleep uninterrupted this time. Attention, only one more regular must be eliminated for the conclusion of this test. 10 minutes remaining. Then she confronts him. Huh? What do you want? A date? You wish. I think you forgot to kill this one. I'd be happy to help. And he stops it. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good, I think. Or I think I'm good. You're not going to kill him? But that's the rule of this game. Look, I'm a free spirit. I don't have to follow any rules. I see. If you refuse to take this game seriously... She stabs past him. Then I'll simply kill you, myself. Sorry, not gonna happen. Hold on. How did I not notice? Just how drop-dead gorgeous she is. He turns away. Don't tell me. You're suddenly too scared to look me in the eye? It's not like that. I guess I just find pretty women a bit intimidating. You see, I've never had a girlfriend before. Do you ever take anything seriously? Okay, hold on. There's no need for us to kill each other. It's literally the rules. The rest are hiding, and time's quickly running out. To me, it seems much more logical to kill you rather than waste my time hunting down those rats. Well, why are you ignoring the prey that's right in front of you? What? Right there. He points up at the announcer. The test director's lighthouse. Do you take me for a fool? Hey. Yeah, you. Here she looks, oh man, she looks a lot like another character. Who is it? Oh, it's right on the tip of my brain. She kind of looks like Icarus here. Like Rachel's Icarus, but there was somebody else too. Who was it? Who was it that she's making me think of? I think it's Candide as well. Like the hair shape and everything. I think maybe Candide is who I'm thinking about too. But Icarus for sure in this panel. She reminds me a lot of. Can't remember if it was someone else or not. And I guess maybe a teeny little bit of female Ren Ling. And then, hey, yeah, you, hiding in the cube. Are you fair game too? What's he going on about? Come on, get your butt down here. I'll kill you and end this test. Stop it. Don't talk to the director, or you don't talk to the test director like that. Don't you know he's a ranker? Even if you managed to kill him, he wouldn't count as one of the 200. Not that it would ever happen, but... Calm down. If I manage to beat you, that counts as 2. Deal? Looks like we've got ourselves a dang fool. We have a flash. They're actually going to just fall for the provocation? Okay. The test director. We have people taking notice. Some of the ones we've seen before, too. Okay, so I didn't know if some of these designs were going to be important, but I guess they are. Because we're seeing the same ones again. Is in the field. I'm guessing you came from some kind of slum where you don't even learn about rankers. His arms remind me of Birdish. I've seen regulars like you before, stupid and clueless. You want to kill me and end the test. What makes you think you'd stand a chance against the test director of the floor of tests? I'd say it's because you look like a total weakling. Man, I was kind of expecting it, This is kind of a missed opportunity for him to do the pose with his arms out because I'm damn strong. Like, they missed the chance to do that. And then that's where we end here. Okay. And so we have a different set of, so is Lee Jong-hui, is that Siyu's name? And he's doing it differently? Or is Siyu just giving the ideas for this, but someone else is, working on this, like, because we have a different set of assistants, and we saw Siyu, like, at the beginning of the chapter, but seeing the copyright for somebody else here, it just makes me wonder. So, like, is Siyu and his team still working on mainline Tower of God, while this is being worked on a different team, just supervised by Siyu, maybe? Huh. Not 100% sure. Either way, though, it's so weird having the bar only have 3 images down here. I guess I'll go and read Chapter 2. We'll read the rest of these. This is going to turn into a long video, so depending on how crazy, insanely long it is, this may or may not be up tonight. Might be waiting for tomorrow on this one. I can make no guarantees. But either way, I had fun with it. I think the few criticisms I had, few criticisms I had, I mentioned while I was reading. But generally, like I said before, I'm just here to kind of chill and have fun with it. I am chilling and having fun with it. I think if the Urek and Phantominium stuff is like huge, like universe of Tower of God lore stuff that applies to everyone, then I don't know. Maybe I'm a little bit disappointed in just getting it told in this way, getting it told as just the first scene of a spin-off, setting the vibes. Like, that's kind of disappointing. If there is only one world outside of the tower, and this is the deal for the one world outside of the tower, but if there are many worlds and people from many worlds are getting brought into the tower, then I don't think it's as bad if it's just, okay, Phantominium and Urek come from the same world, much in the same way as potentially the great families come from the same world. Like, that's not really as big a deal to me. And also, I would like to see more of Urek outside of the tower, what his relationships were like outside of the tower, what he has out there that makes him, like, think, there's freedom out there, there's a good world out there. And also there's just the fact that Bomb came in here. Bomb didn't have any memories except for Rachel in the cave. But Urek's coming in here. Urek doesn't have amnesia or anything. So he has a life before going into the tower that he remembers. And for him to never bring it up or never care about all the people he's left behind, to me, is a little dumb. But that's, like, not something I'm judging the series for. That's something that if we never ever get it, I'll judge the series for. Because for right now, it's like, that's something we could just get into in the future. And I hope we do get into that in the future. What his relationships are, what his history is before coming into the tower as a person, because I think that matters a lot for a character that's not starting off as a blank slate like Bomb did. And now we start with the title splash on Chapter 2, and again, like I mentioned before, Siyu's here in the title splash, so Siyu is at least involved, if not the main working force. Then we have Episode 2, The Biggest Fish. A weakling? Huh. This guy is an idiot. I mean, we've seen that most high rankers don't seem to be very bright. But this guy's big stupid. He's just immediately falling for the provocation of some guy who just became a regular. He's just laughing, but I can feel the Shinsu surging. Rankers really are in a league of their own. Just listen to yourself. Within the inner tower, no ranker is permitted to harm a regular. but the test director of the floor of tests holds the authority to enforce appropriate disciplinary action on any regular who disobeys the rules. And I'd say taking one of your arms should fall under appropriate disciplinary action. What do you think? Disciplinary action? Maybe I'm quite clueless, like you're suggesting. But how can you enforce? What the hell? A regular with this much strength. How's this possible? And he's just brute forcing him, grabbing his arm? Any kind of disciplinary action. When you're so weak. And he's shocked. We have a cracking sound effect. You dare insult me. You, a brat who's never even felt the flow of Shinsu. There are now 200 regulars remaining on the field. The game has concluded. The game has concluded. Sounds like someone managed to get another kill in. That's good. I suppose I could have benefited from being rid of such a powerful competitor, but someone who's so reckless that he's willing to challenge a test director could come in handy as I work toward my goal. You got lucky, regular. Be grateful you're moving on to the next test alive, and learn some humility if you want to survive. This tower is full of monsters, far stronger than you can even imagine. My apologies for the commotion, Your Highness. It's fine. What a shame. If I'd had just a few more seconds, I could have taken you down. What the hell did you just say? We see the Shinsu swirling. He's surprised. This power. I've never felt anything like it before. Director Danjon. That's enough. And we have a sea urchin? Head director. Head director. Who are you? Are you the big fish? Incorrect. I am the biggest fish. The test is now complete. You've got no time to waste down here. Wrap things up and get back up there, Danjon. So this is showing that a lot of the infrastructure that we saw within the second floor isn't that old in comparison to like the tower as a whole, because it seems like we have totally different people running tests here. The test is over. If you're still alive to hear this announcement, you'll be moving on to the next test. So it seems like the lighthouse was just there to automatically announce when they reach 200. Because I was going to say before, I thought it was this guy controlling the lighthouse before, but it announced the kill while he was down here dealing with Urek. And if you're still alive to hear this announcement, you'll be moving on to the next test. Brace yourselves. The following one will be even tougher than what you just went through. And you, listen closely. You managed to get away with your life this time, but if you ever try something like this again, I'll rip you to shreds. I don't care if you're a regular. Sure. Good luck with that. I wonder if the next test is different, because if it is a different test and not just making teams of 3, then I think it's neat because it shows maybe the influence that Yuhan Sung was having. Or maybe like Yuhan Sung isn't the one who made that decision, but it just makes me think, okay, then is Yuhan Sung the one who was making the test so that right after you were trying to kill each other, you have to team up? Congratulations on finishing the first test. All regulars who are still alive on the field will be transported to the next test site, so it is different. Inside the floating castle on the floor of tests, the head tester, and they're calling it Floating Castle here, the head test director's office. A test director interfering, the very first test. What an embarrassment, really. My apologies, head director. I should have known better than to let a regular provoke me. I simply lost my composure. I'd never encountered something like it before. Is this some kind of attempt to question my authority in the ruler of the floor's absence? Oh, of course not. I wouldn't dare. I've heard all about everything you've accomplished when you were higher up in the tower, sir. I would never try to do such a thing. That's good to hear. Make sure this never happens again. Yes, sir. Hopefully you won't be so foolish. But If you ever allow yourself to be provoked by a regular again, I want you to teach them a lesson they'll never forget. Of course, I won't be responsible for the cleanup. Right. You're dismissed. What the hell does he want me to do? Whatever. I'm not scared of him. I'm scared of what he's capable of. At least now I have the head test director's permission to destroy that regular if I ever get the chance. Urek Mazino, was it? He's looking at a profile. Finally, a regular who might actually be entertaining. But what kind of backwater is he from? That the records don't even indicate his birthplace. And we have people gathered around. Again, the flashbacks to early tower climbing. Huh, even 200 is a bit much, isn't it? And we still have the Guns N' Roses fan? Maybe I should have taken out a few more. Hey, watch where you're going. My bad. It's a bit crowded in here. Wait, I remember you from the first test. Right this way, sir. Sure. Sir. He's definitely way older than me. Out of the way, all of you, and he's become a weenie. Immediately. May I take your hat, sir? Welcome, everyone. Congratulations on surviving your very first test. I am the director of this test. Cool design. Gisley. It's gotta be Gisley, right? There's no way she's Gisley. There's no way. Huh? Another one? I was hoping to see the first one again. I'm crying. What a shame. This test has a very simple rule. To climb the tower, you must master two things: teamwork and conflict. Since you were just at each other's throats, it's time for you to join forces. And I like this guy. Hold on, this guy with the scarf and the goofy eyes. I like him. In this test, you'll be forming teams of 3. But don't become so close that you won't be able to betray each other. Okay, so we are teaming up. Remember, when you're climbing the tower, teamwork is always followed by division. Now, let me explain the rules of the test. So are Urek's teammates going to be the princess and the weenie? And then their rival team, like the Shibisu trio, is going to be the owner of the hat. The hat he passes on. Return this hat to me when you're a great ranker. But weak guy, your arm. Is that team going to be the wielder of the hat, the owner of the hat, the Lopobia member that I'm forgetting her name, something with an E, I think, and there was a guy with a book that looked maybe Popadawish. There was also a guy wearing blue that gave me kind of, this is just speaking vibes alone. I kind of got the same vibes from him that you get from like Todoroki from Hero Academia, or Gray from Fairy Tail. I don't know how to quite explain it. Those kinds of vibes. That's the vibes I got from him. I like the floaty eyes. Now let me explain the rules of the test. It's one of the most beloved games out there for splitting into teams. We have a goat. The eyes belong to the goat. Libra? What? Flip or flop? Flip. What? Flip, says the goat. Or flop. Somewhere on the floor of tests, we have yellow hair guy. Neat. Already a wave controller. Takes down this guy. Rip. I'm sure even they can see you're not putting in any effort. Alright. Hey, Rahab. When'd you get here? How's the new batch of regulars? And this guy also had a Target shirt. I mean, not like Target, like the store, but showing the enemies exactly where to aim. I wonder if he's brother of the hat owner. There. Boring. So is this guy another sort of test director like... I thought this was a guy in the test, or is he another director kind of like Quant was a director of a different test than Leroy was in charge of? And if so, is his test just, hey, I'm going to shoot you with my beam while you're running? There. Boring. And we see a bunch of people. Are these the test directors? Or are these... what's the deal here? Are these more a different batch of regulars? Then they're boring. Alright. Okay. Not really sure what the last panel means yet. Also, so he's the one saying that they're boring. His name is Rahab here. Okay. Alright. Neat. His mask also reminds me of... There's a similar mask. With, like, the layers, I mean. Like, the layers coming down off of it. Something not like... Traumeray's mask is obviously what you're going to think of. But one of Traumeray's creatures maybe had a similar sort of layer of plates. Something like that. Okay. Either way, though, we still have one more to read. And this one didn't take nearly as long as the first one. Wasn't nearly as long. So, that means hopefully this video, maybe it will be able to be out tonight. Okay, Chapter 3. Time to play everybody's favorite game, Flip or Flop. Now let me explain the rules of the test. Okay, this is the same bit that we saw before. Flip. What? Flip or Flop. And we get the title splash. Episode 3, Flip or Flop. Flip or Flop? I've never even heard of that game. Seriously? They don't know how to play Flip or Flop? What rock have they been living under, the weenie? Do you know the rules of this game? Of course, sir. If you split into teams by flipping your hand, up or down like this. If you end up in the same team as the people who have their hands flipped the same way as you, okay, not if, it's just you end up in the same team as the people who have their hands flipped the same way as you. For example, we'd be on the same team if we both flipped our hands down. So make sure to let me know which way you're flipping. What makes you think I want to be on your team? Unfortunately, the rules of this game are slightly different from what you just described. She can hear us from up there. Also, she has the horns. You know? The horns. The Tower of God horns. The original rules are very simple, where you flip your hand up or down in order to divide into teams. However, in this game, you will be playing Flip or Flop with the giant goat behind me, and that's why he's the goat. Huh? With that goat? Yes, if you look carefully at his hands, the right one is flipped down, and the left one is flipped up. Excuse me? And as you can see, my hands are positioned identically. But the right, but the right hand, unless the back of your hand is the one that counts. Or unless we're playing, mirrored and all, and it's like, of course, the hand on your left is the one that's flipped up. But that's usually not the way you would, describe that, I feel like. This means I have successfully passed this round. Now, your task will be to watch Mr. Goat's hands, and flip your hands at the end of his chant to match his. If you get it, you pass. If not, you fail. The test of luck is for real. Well, you know what they say. You learn best by doing. Let's get started with the first game. Huh? Right now? No pressure, everyone. Or not. And when are we splitting into teams of 3? Please, Mr. Goat, please begin. He's singing, don't chicken out, flip or flop, don't chicken out, flip or flop. And then, whoosh. That was so fast. And we're seeing more designs. We have this guy in the Anbu mask. We have the wielder of the hat. So fast. Man, wielder of the hat, sorry about what happened to your brother, man. What the? Seriously? Did you even see that? No, not at all. How are we supposed to flip our hands like that? Huh. How disappointing. Among 200 of you, only 24 passed. You actually got it, sir. Yeah, it was easy. The regulars who just passed the first round... You know, it takes a long time. It's a really hard thing to do. 20 weeks, man. You know? Well, that makes sense. I mean, she's a princess of Zahard. The regulars who just passed the first round will have the privilege of choosing their teammates. Okay, so 24 teams then. Huh? Choosing teammates? And we see the Lopobia family member passed as well. Yes, you may select someone who just failed the test to become one of your teammates through a game of flip or flop. Allow me to demonstrate. Would any of the lucky 24 like to select their teammate first? Quickly. Me, I want to. Perfect. Please select one of the eliminated regulars. Wait, what if she... Got it. Wants to be with me. She turns away. Oh, Evelyn? I saw you fight during the first test. You're pretty good. How would you feel about being on my team? What was I thinking? Sounds good to me. There's no reason for someone like her to team up with me. Alright, same rules as last time. Please proceed with the game after the chant. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. If he can follow my hand movements, he'll be on my team. But if he's too slow, don't chicken out, flip or flop. He'll probably end up... Then... Is she just testing him to see if he doesn't match, if he'll die or something? And they match? I thought you wanted me on your team. What a shame. Huh? Or do their hands need to be in the opposite direction so that they fit into one another, I guess? I thought you wanted me on your team. What a shame. I was hoping you'd be one of the better ones. What? If you can't even handle a basic hand flip, you're definitely not what I'm looking for. Figure someone from one of the 10 great families. You scammer! No, you're just not good enough. Would understand the rules of the tower so well. Oh, how unfortunate. I was hoping we'd get our very first team. And then, since you've been... Gah! Eliminated again. What the hell? You'll be sacrificed to Mr. Goat. No, you never mentioned anything about... And then Mr. Goat devours him. Rip. That thing just ate him. You can't do something like that. Like I said, the rules are simple. If you fail after being chosen as a potential teammate, you'll be sacrificed to Mr. Goat, and that's why he's the goat. However, if you succeed, you'll get to choose whether to sacrifice the one who called on you or keep them on your team. Okay. Your ultimate goal is to form teams of 3 as the game progresses. If you're left without a team at the conclusion of the game, you'll be disqualified. The true goal of this game isn't to get into teams, it's all about survival of the fittest, just like the first test. In other words, if you manage to follow the goat's hand movements in the first part of the game, you'll get the opportunity to eliminate whoever you want. Yeah, eliminate whoever you want. Okay. Now, the remaining 23 of you may each choose one regular from the pool of those who were eliminated. I choose you. Wait, who should I shove down that goat's throat? That's the one. I thought he had black hair, though. No, please, I don't want to die. And then we see the one, again, Gaston-looking guy from before. Hey, you. Yes, sir. Let's play. You want to play with me? What, you backing out now? I thought you wanted to be on my team. Right, I did say that. Why do you look so scared then? Well... Oh, just so you know, you'll be sacrificed immediately if you refuse to play. Fine, I'll play. Gotta follow the rules, right? Well, I'm dead. I've seen how fast his hand flips are. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. You know, I'm feeling like showing off my palms today. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. He wants to show off his palms. Does that mean he'll flip them both up? What if he's just messing with me? Can I trust him? Or not? Then... Oof. Big oof, weenie. I got it. Wait, but... So... Okay, so if they do have to match the opposite hands of one another... Why am I lost in this stupid hand flip game? So before, they didn't match, even though their hands were matching, because you have to match what's on the opposite hand, I guess. But for this, the opposite hand is also up, so it's fine. I got it. Sir! I don't understand. Why would you put your life in the hands of a weenie like me? I mean, I could kill you if I wanted to. Yeah, I know. So why? Why bet on me when there are so many others who are stronger? It's simple. I had a feeling you'd trust me, so I decided to trust you in return. That's what being a team is all about, right? I mean, I guess you could also stab me in the back. Stop. Don't touch him. He's my new teammate. This is the goat. And that's why he's the goat. I apologize, sir. I should have given you my full trust from the very beginning. You see, I was just a nobody until I got the chance to enter the tower. I'll never forget this honor of earning your trust, sir. You can always count on me to be your biggest ally. I hope this guy somehow survives and is just in Walhaiksong right now. This dude's just hanging out in Walhaiksong. I really want it. Sounds good, but can you drop the sir and just use my name? I mean, you're clearly older than I am. Of course, sir. I mean, okay. Now come on, just one more teammate. I guess it's because we're seeing from her perspective. Weird way to do that, to have the text be blurred, though. Odd. Now come on, just one more teammate and we'll be the most powerful team in the game. Hate to break it to you, but that's never gonna happen with you on our team. We'd be lucky to not end up the weakest team here. The first game is now over. Ah, what a shame. Only 7 of you managed to find a team. Let's move on to the next game. You got this. If you're in a team, you can pick one representative to participate. I love this game, though. This is a fun way to pick teammates. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. Don't chicken out, flip or flop. And then, I think you could turn them sideways. It's like, that's an option? Okay, he's twisting. What the? Did it just bait us? Seemed like it was going one way and then went turntable style. We have Pengu back here. Pink hair guy. This guy. Horrible facial haircut combo, my guy. And then, sir, you lost. Relax. I did it on purpose. Also, don't call me sir. Huh? Why would you lose on purpose? Oh, because if all of the strongest people are getting it right, then the strongest people are never going to team up with each other. A strong person has to lose and trust another strong person if they want to end up together. Huh? Why would you lose on purpose? Just look around you. I'm sure some of the others did the same thing. I don't understand. Why would anybody try to lose instead of winning? Think about it. The strongest players were already identified in the last round. Who'd be reckless enough to risk losing the game by challenging them? Besides, having to play again would have just been a hassle. It's called avoiding unnecessary conflict. Oh, I see it now. Wait, since they all know we're a strong team, I bet no one's going to challenge us this round. Again, he made a point. So if you win the first round, but don't win the second round, everybody knows you're one of the strongest. So, again, you would have to lose and have another strong person pick you to team up with another strong person. But if someone who's not strong then is able to do good enough to win, they can't really screw you over because they know you were strong enough when it really mattered in the first round to make it. So they're not going to be able to juke you. You're going to match up with them, and then you get the choice of whether they live or die. Probably not. Then. But there are some weirdos in the world who would. Hey, you. So we're having the princess and the weenie are the team. Oh, I remember you from the first game. Wait, look at her jewelry. Play around with me. She's a princess of Zahard. Is he, speaking of weirdos, her new target? You want to play me? Just so you know, if you want to kill me, it's not going to work. That's not it. Should you succeed, I'd like to bring you onto my team. Did she just say she wants him on her team? Is he from one of the 10 great families? Seriously, look at that white hair. He has to be an REA. No, if he were an REA, he'd be way better looking than that. They're dokjaying him. Sir, you're going to take her offer, right? This is the opportunity of a lifetime. Sorry, but not interested. I've already got my eye on someone else. What? Is this someone stronger than me? Let's just say I'm looking for something different. I see. Well, no matter. I still want you on my team. Start the game. Oh yeah, you can't refuse. You're a stubborn one, aren't you? So he's going to be stuck. If he wants somebody else, he would have to kill her. And she's betting that he wouldn't kill her, probably because of what she saw him doing in the first test. I'd be down to start a relationship with you if you're interested. Be careful, or you'll get eaten by a giant goat. No thanks. I would rather die. I could say the same to you. Get your head in the game if you want to live. I'm not planning on holding back. Don't chicken out. Flip or flop. Don't chicken out and everybody's staring at them. Flip or flop. And they're going full rotation arms. And they're matching. He won. He got it. Well, don't water on my team. Huh? He could just kill a Zahard's princess like that? But then again, would the test director be in trouble for feeding a Zahard princess to the goat? So the test director has to be like, well, you've called my bluff. Huh? There's no way. A princess of Zahard got disqualified. The goat goes to grab during the second test. And we get cliffhung. Brutal cliffhanger. But yes, that's why he's the GOAT. Okay, so very fun set of 3 chapters. I love this. Like, having tests be important, having games be important, it feels like Tower of God could never. So I don't know. This is really fun, really enjoyable, really good. I liked it a lot. Again, it's one of those things where I just want to chill and have fun. I was not expecting us to have side characters actually matter. So to have side characters actually matter, peak. Amazing. I love it. I love having side characters. I think Evelyn's my favorite. In fact, if I had never read Tower of God before, and this was just its own webtoon, not even thinking about Tower of God, this is its own thing. If I just got into this and it's its own thing, then Evelyn would probably be my favorite character in these 3 chapters. I would put her I thought she was an even more fun character than Urek. So, Evelyn's one of my favorites. The princess, kind of whatever on right now. I'm with Urek. Feed her to the goat. But I also really like the weenie, and I also like the wielder of the hat. Like them as well. So, a very fun set of chapters. I had a ton of fun. I enjoyed them a lot. And I'm going to end this video here. So if you don't want to be spoiled, if you are, reading along with the official translation and don't want to be spoiled on what I have heard, my opinion on the general sentiment of what I've heard, then go ahead. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. But if you don't want to hear me talk about that, then you can go ahead and dip out, because all I'm going to do is talk about that and then do the outro. So, fair warning, you've had it. I said going into things that I hadn't really heard much, and I haven't been spoiled on anything. Again, no characters, no plot summary, no anything. But every once in a while, something I would do is just go look on Naver and see what the, scores look like. Just not look at any of the images, any of the thumbnails, but just see what the chapter scores look like. That's something that back when Tower of God was going on, I mentioned I would just do occasionally. It's a little bit spoilery, but we're so far behind, and I cover Tower of God every single week. It's just something that occasionally I'm curious. I want to know. I don't want to spoil myself, but, I'm kind of curious about what the numbers are looking like. So I had done that before we even got an announcement of when this was coming out, because I was like, how many chapters are there even out yet? When are we going to get it? Every couple of weeks I'd maybe check. And so for a while, things were always like 9 point whatever, 9 point whatever, 9 point whatever. But then for the past 3 chapters, they have been 4 point something. They went from 9 point something to 4 point something for a few chapters. And that doesn't make me less excited. It makes me a little bit bummed, because I was hoping this would just be really good. And I don't let other people's opinions affect my opinion. So maybe I will have a dissenting opinion. Maybe I will still love it and enjoy it, even if other people aren't enjoying it. But it's like a train crash. I can't look away, and now I'm even more curious. Now, please do not spoil me. I do not want to be spoiled, because the fall off is the biggest surprise that I'm waiting for. I want to know what happens to it. I've got to know. So please don't spoil me. I want to experience it on my own. I want to go through my own, process of seeing what happens. And when I first saw those numbers, I was like, dang, I guess the spinoff pulled a mainline Tower of God. And people responded to me saying that by saying, you don't even know the half of it. So, and then when I made my update video saying, hey, the official translation was just announced, and I'm going to be reading that, I was like, I really want it to be good. I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to enjoy what we get. But I kept complaining about season 3, and I was like, oh, people are going to hate that I'm complaining about season 3. I think I only got 1 dislike on the entire video, and even multiple comments were like, oh, this is worse than season 3, and I'm just like, what? So it's one of those things where I have had fun, and I plan, whether it's quality-wise good or bad, I still plan on having fun. But I have become even more excited. I was excited for it to be good, but then seeing that crazy drop-off, it's like, you would think it would make me less excited, but it kind of makes me more excited, because now my curiosity is insane. So please don't spoil me. Just in a general sense, please don't spoil me. I know some of you are going to be reading way ahead, so please don't spoil me. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off my chest. Either way, I suppose that's it. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Tower of God, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. If you want to help support the channel by sharing around or by dropping a super thanks. It's extremely appreciated. If you want to help support the channel, also get your name at the end of videos and get One Piece videos a bit early, you can hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description. I haven't updated this in a few days, so it's a little teeny bit out of date. But thank you to members and patrons. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Holly and Bertie Booster, Magical Girls FRNO JA and VD Band, Jeritan students David Langstaff, Slayer candidates SGN Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements Pater Dial and Elsa the Storyteller. I'll maybe try to update this tomorrow. It's been a few days. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting, and I'll see you all next time.